Alrighty, everybody. On this part, we're going to be doing some side quests. So let's go over to these Pirate Jacks and do it. Alright, anyways. So we're talking to the Pirate Jack. He wants us to look for a key to open up the chest. So we go straight to the 3rd floor. And we find the little fairy lady who ends up saying this to us. Anyways, smack her down. Pirate Jack takes our reward. At the top of the tower, we encounter King Frost. This is the part where I would talk about the boss fight, but I'm not ready for this fight. He shields fire, and he can murder me. Ow. Also got it wrong. He's not a super boss. He's just an optional boss. So my mistake in the last video. Even though I'm not ready to take on King Frost, we'll come back to him later. I decided to master a couple of mantras, learn Earth Lord, learn Earth Emperor, which is going to be coming in handy very shortly. Through the next part, we're just going to shotgun through the next dungeon. But anyways, story cutscene. So inside the deserted ship, we decided to come up with a plan of setting a trap for the solids by planting explosives around the ship and then creating a decoy. And by golly, this is probably one of the best cutscenes in the entire game. So Sarah's going to go into hiding, and then the decoy is going to be Argilla. How, you want to see?
Okay, this seriously won't work.
Why is that?
Obviously, Sarah isn't this tall, her hair is way different, and her arms ain't that thick. Ooh!
Well, excuse me.
And just as Gale predicted, the solids are... Sorry, not the solids. The brutes are right outside the abandoned ship. But, Bats wants to get choked out. Colonel Beck! Alright, the abandoned ship. This dungeon's a one-way. We're stuck inside of it until we complete it. The whole objective for this dungeon is to set up 8 bombs around the ship, starting at the basement floor and working our way up. Enemies don't activate until after the first bomb is placed. And in all honesty, I'm just going to shotgun this dungeon. It's really easy at this point in the game for some strange reason for me. Probably because I'm like over-leveled or something. I never really had any hassle. The only enemies that you really got to worry about are these ghost ones that can cast Madhu. And, well, obviously Madhu can instantly kill you. That's really the only scary thing in this entire dungeon.
Too bad Sarah isn't here, sucker.
Anyways, like I said, this dungeon's honestly straightforward. Once you get all the bombs planted, you make your way back to the bridge of the ship where you entered. But I do a little bit of grinding to get a couple of extra mantras learned. These enemies here are weak to shock, and they're easy devours. They give you tons of AP and decent amount of XP. They can also drop quantum cells, which is also a good way to farm for money, too. So the boss coming up, the boss coming up is Bats. We know his weakness. It's Earth, so we're gonna grab Pterodine, which is the strongest Earth spell in the game for single target damage. Gonna grab Earth Amp and Earth Boost to increase the power of it, and a couple of support spells for like healing and stuff. I grabbed First Strike just to see if it would make a difference, but I believe he gets the first turn no matter what. Not the best skill set, but in all honesty, I think I'm good for this fight. Alright. Round 3 against Kamazat. What makes this battle difficult is, well, he gets Psycho Rage, so he gets 4 blinking press turns. He has his basic attack. He has his guard ability, which we're looking for. He has Curse. Also pay attention to Curse, because this is my first time in... well, I'm a little stupid right here. You'll see. He always takes his guard as soon as he ends his turn. You know, let's just forget about the status effect and hit him with the Pterodine. I'm so stupid. Alright, round 2. I'm trying to show off his unique ability called Zulsa Laha Bane. A lot of people say this is a run killer, but I'm just showing off this run to people who are watching my stream, and they're really wanting to like, oh my god, what's this ability? What's this ability? I was like, here, I'll just show you guys really fast. Pretty much, it turns you into a bat, cuts your stats in half, and you get a wind weakness, and Camazot really likes to take advantage of that. Alright, you'd be like, this is round 3. No, this is actually my first time fighting him. The other 2 I showed beforehand were just his ways of how he could kill you easily. This is my first try. I will guaranteedly say that I am over-prepared for this fight. He tries to inflict me with Curse, it misses, then he goes into his guard stance, and well, it's a GG from there. I still don't understand why people say that this is a hard boss fight. Back outside the mansion, I do another field hunt to learn Earth Emperor to get Augidine, because we're getting ready to take on King Frost again. Alright, now let's really go for King Frost. What makes this fight difficult is he's immune, well, he shields fire, and he's takes normal damage from all the other elements, I think. I don't know. But Earth is our best bet for dealing damage to him. He likes to summon Jack Frost. They focus on mainly buffing him, which is a downside. He uses a lot of ice-based spells, which honestly I don't really care that much about because obviously we're resistant to it. His only real scary attack is Frost Rush. It's an almighty, and it says it's physical, but it's actually almighty. It deals a lot of damage, and if he gets a couple of attack boosts on himself, it can deal a lot of damage. And also the fact that it can crit is really scary too. I don't have any debuffing skills because I'm a little stupid, but I do use Dekuja rocks on him to get rid of his buffs. And after this fight, I realized, man, I need to start running debuffs and buffs. So I get those on. So I pretty much just rotate between using Augidine to kill the Jack Frost to get a press turn, and then Pterodine to do damage. It's a slugfest. I could have been a little bit more prepared, but I'm also really underleveled for this fight. I think King Frost is level 55, and I'm only like 48. But it was a fun fight, and he gets really depresso when he's about to die, and then we murder him. Bye, King Frost. After some story beats, we go back to Stadasvadahava. I can't say some of these area names. To meet up with the wolves, with the tribe leader of them known as Lupa. Lupa is such a Chad that he literally doesn't flinch when Gale tries to stab him, and he offers himself up as tribute as long as we agree to protecting the rest of his tribe members from the brutes, and also help him defeat the brutes too at the same time. Anyways, off to his sewer level. All right, inside the tunnels, the Samsara tunnels, I believe is called. Again, I'm not good with names. There's nothing too scary here. A lot of status elements, and I finally learned that freaking the confusion status effect is actually panic. And some of the enemies here like to inflict panic, so I equip null panic and get some free turns from those. Other than that, the only things here that are really scary is enemies that can petrify you, but it's like only one encounter, and it's an optional encounter because it's inside of a treasure chest. And the starfish guys that you can encounter can cast Madu, which again is instant death if it hits, so death resist is pretty good. I decided to take a break from doing story progression to do some backtracking. I do not recommend backtracking all the way back to this dungeon to find out that you can get a treasure chest that has iron shot in it through a yellow wall. It was not worth the time. Don't do it. Alright, back in the Samsara tunnels. I thought I was getting ready for the boss fight here, so I got ready, got all my skills ready. I was like, okay, boss fight, let's do this. No, it's just a forced encounter with some karate fighting guys with paddles. Battle's not too hard, just smack them until they die. Literally. I had nothing to work against them, so I just smacked them until they died. A short while later, you come across another optional water puzzle. Inside of here is where we find the last key, the red key. Now we can access the red gates. Awesome. We'll start handling those as soon as we can, but for right now we're going to keep progressing inside of the tunnels. Near the end of the tunnels, we come across enraged Lupa. Just like with Jinana, he hasn't been eating, so he's gone hostile. Time to put the doggo down.
It's not the same anymore.
You'd think for being a fire type enemy he would be weak to ice. No, he's not. He actually takes normal damage to ice. He has 3 heads, so he gets 3 press turns. Left head does the healing, center does the main attacking, right does the buffs, and also can cast Madu. Gotta be careful about that. I forgot to equip death resist, and I had a couple of close calls here. Pretty much the strategy is focusing on the healer to get rid of him, because that's the most trouble one right there. Then the middle for the normal attacks, and then last but not least, the right head. And that finishes the boss fight. I really thought this was going to be a little bit more trouble, but it wasn't. Easy peasy. After a little bit of a touching moment with the death of Lupa, we finally make it to the Brute's base. We're not going to spend much time here. The sections are locked off. We're going to start with the West Wing. And at the end of each wing, we get forced to fight a mini-boss, quote-unquote mini-boss. They become normal enemies later. I don't stay here for long, and I figured, hey, why not backtrack and explore some new areas and potentially get some new items? In my honest opinion, this is probably the hardest encounter at the moment. This guy can inflict Stone Gaze with his death. Has like a 40% chance to proc. He's weak to fire, so in reality it should only take 4 hits, but you gotta survive Stone Gaze. Oh, did I forget to mention that he has Psycho Rage? Yeah, and then he really likes to spam Stone Gaze. I managed to kill him on my 3rd attempt, which is awesome, but my dumb butt forgets the #1 rule of an RPG after you kill a major opponent: saving the game. I walk right past the save room and then die in the next fight. Taking a break from story progression, we're going to go back to the red wall that's been teasing me since the beginning of the game. Past this red wall is our first optional boss, and boy was he a doozy. Alright, first off, I want to apologize. My audio was messed up, so here, just listen to some Embryon bass music. I'm not really going to go over this section of the dungeon because it was really annoying. I just was getting over it. My RNG was horrible. I was getting encounters left and right, but luckily I came across a field hunt, so I decided to take the time to learn Dark Emperor. Sorry, not Dark Emperor. Dark Leader. It was worth it. And then finally, we reach the man, the myth, the legend, Beelzebub. This guy was no pushover. He was kicking my ass. It took me a few rounds, but I finally got it. I mainly focus on buffing myself for the first part of the fight. He can buff himself with Makukaja and Terukaja to increase his physical and magical. As long as you can keep his damage under control, this was honestly an easy fight. The only scary thing is when he goes into his second phase and he starts spamming Mahamon. but that's easily countered by going to human form. And then from on there out, it's just a slug match with your gun. I equipped the ability counter and critical, but I should have came in with max critical too on a full solar noise. That probably would have helped out a lot more too. Other than that, use Dekaja Rocks when he buffs himself too much to lower his stats back down to neutral, and just hammer away. Once I got his health into the red, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, I almost got him. And lo and behold, what killed him was a critical counter, which was great. Hey guys, this next part was streamed over on my YouTube. I'm going to chime in every now and then to add some commentary to some of the fights, but we're pretty much just going to plow through the Brute's base really fast and get this place done and taken care of. Anyways, see you guys here in a few.
Come on.
Alright, time for our rematch. We literally kick his butt this time. Takes about 4 to 5 Agidines to kill him. We get lucky with resisting his stone gaze, so that's great. Anyways, 1 out of the 3 bosses down.
Dead. Alright.
Alright, second mini boss is Isis. And the Egyptian goddess Isis, not a certain group. Anyways, she copies your magic. I kind of mess up and use Moragi. Oh my gosh. I use fire, and I forgot to put on fire resist. Sorry, it's like 1:40 in the morning. I'm tired as hell.
That hurt.
But I ended up killing her after a while, but my dumb butt used fire, and I forgot fire resist. It took longer than I thought, but no trouble.
Oh.
Alright, the third and final mandatory fight before we can take on
Oh boy.
Colonel Beck is against a horde of Nidhoggers. I honestly had no idea how this fight was going. This is like my 3rd time doing it. But I finally figured it out. He consumes himself, well, his allies to get bigger. It's just keep beating them down until they just stop spawning and they eventually all die. I don't really have his weakness down, but I kind of forgot what he's actually weak to. It doesn't matter. I just Moragi-dine him constantly.
Oh, that
and then I was
easy.
like, wait, why don't I just use a mind charge and, you know, buff my freaking magic attack? Oh my golly, I keep forgetting buffs exist.
Oh, that's all I had to do was just mind charge.
I decided to take a quick side trip really fast to master one more
There we
Magitama, not Magitama, mantra before we take on the next main boss,
Oh
and
my
that
God,
is
that took
Dark
like
Lord.
40 hours
For
to
one and
master.
one reason only, the overpowered null
Lord.
element
Oh, yeah.
ability. We are immune to
Null
all
element.
elements.
Fuck yes.
Okay, I'll just let myself explain.
I'm happy. Knowles, fire, ice, force, and elect and earth. Hot dog.
Well, nothing upstairs. Ah!
It's been a while, sir. Yes, that's the face. The one I couldn't forget even if I wanted to.
Ooh.
I don't know you. But I do remember you. How the hell can you follow the man who devoured you?
What are you talking about? I don't know.
You were the first to be devoured.
And you, I feel sorry for you. How many times must you die for this woman?
What?
Do not underestimate my power. You look hungry. There's plenty to eat here. Devour as much as you like. Tribes, comrades, I'm sick of all that bullshit. I'll make you recall the sins you have forgotten.
Stop it! I won't allow that. How dare you? How dare you try to do this to them? I won't let you hurt my friends!
Huh. You won't allow it? As if you have any right. To hell with you all! I've had enough of this godforsaken dump! I'll kill your precious leader and finally get out of this hellhole!
Alrighty, time for the Ravana fight.
Ravana is invisible.
This is literally just a guessing game. Don't cheese it with all... Don't cheese it with multi-target spells. It does not work. Sarah will help you out, and slowly over time, she'll tell you exactly the best location he's in. Just keep going until you get him. It takes about 3 or 4 attacks, and then this phase is done.
Oh, that wasn't that hard. Oh.
Alright,
Okay.
this phase is complete joke. With Null Element,
Gonna start buffing.
we literally block everything he can throw at us besides for his unique Hunger Wave. But Sarah will hop right in and fix it. And since we're playing solo, this is no issue at all. She cures it as soon as the turn starts. But yeah, I'm just gonna let the boss play out really fast and enjoy this quick and easy fight.
Nah, just gonna keep buffing myself a little bit longer. Oh, that completely shut down his turn. Oh. Okay, seriously, the fucking Null Element is the brokenest broken ever. Jesus Christ. I'm just putting myself at +2 for all my stats that I can. Do another Makukaja. No, I'm gonna do one more Makukaja. So that's +3 on my magic. Okay, I cannot block Megadolia. Alright, Mind Charge to double my next attack's magic damage. And last word. Woo! That did some juicy damage. No, there's bugs on my screen. Why is there bugs on my screen? Boop. Oh my god, fucking get off my screen. Limit reached. Okay. Mind Charge. This is pathetic. Oh, something worked in common 30. He's already in the red. Jesus Christ. Infinite wind. I shield that. You know what? I don't want to get too cocky, but I want to get cocky. Oh, I'm getting too cocky. Let's do this. Ah, fuck. I forgot that forces me into demon form. Okay, I smushed a bug. Come on, I want to kill you with my gun. That's 2 bug dead. All right, gun. Oh, only 23 damage? Oh, Jesus. We're settling this like men. Oh, I'm getting too cocky. I really am. Ah. Nah, all right, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna murder him now. He's lasted long enough. All right, mind charge. Though I really enjoy the music that's playing, it's time to die. Ooh.
Varen, what did you mean I was devoured?
Don't call me by that name. I am a colonel. I am Colonel Beck.
You seem to know about Serph. Why is it that you know about everyone except me?
You're all fools. You, and you too. Have you forgotten how that girl cast us into this hell? Let me remind you then. You and I, we are all humans who died. In the same nirvana you're all desperate to reach.
That can't be. We died?
Oh.
That girl will destroy the world. She is truly the devil.
Huh. Okay. Oh boy. Did he just die with an orgasm? Hi, Glitch. Before going out. Hey, it's the cat. Hi, Mr. Cat. Where are you going?
Wait, I knew that didn't make sense. That was the first cat that I ever saw. So then how did I know what it was?
That is not all. We also know of children and parents. And yet, none of these things exist here in the junkyard.
So then we remember these things from Nirvana? We actually died before and were sent to the junkyard? Now we're like this? We devour each other. Janana, Lupa, so many people died. And you think Sarah's behind all this? How the hell could she be?
I don't know. You know I ain't that smart.
Huh?
Exactly. Knowing the truth wouldn't change anything. Who cares about this stupid world? So what if we died? Forget all that crap. Look at what all of us have become.
We're
Comrades. Then there's nothing to debate. Well, I mean that, you can't be a comrade alone. That's ridiculous.
No.
Comments?
Scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 3. But all in all, I'd have to say that it's still pretty good for a hot-headed jerk, yeah?
No, he's supposed to be Jamaican.
Maybe if you spoke up a bit more. What the?
Derain just stopped.
Oh?
The war is over, and the gates of Nirvana have opened. Sarah will be there.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, folks, we're at the end game. Head back
Buddy,
over
you
to the
okay?
Karma Tower and
Sir,
let's assault
the guards
it.
won't allow us to enter anymore. If we try, they
The
kill
first
us.
two
What the
fights
hell's going
are
on?
a little rough because these enemies don't really have a weakness, and out of what I can tell.
All entries forbidden.
But
leave now or face
just beat them
termination.
down with fire. It seems like
Get
fire
out
does
of
the best
my
damage.
way.
They're immune to gun, and they resist a lot of everything else. Other than that, it's not too difficult.
Okay, fire. There we go.
We're trying to catch up with Sarah right now, but sadly we get plunged down into an area called the Sea of Milk. I was trying to explain to my chat that I think it has something to do with the Hindu religion because a lot of things in this game are based off of
Whoa,
Hindu.
isn't this more like
I don't know the
Fallen?
name, but
Going
it's
down, I
based
guess.
around the Hindu religion, which honestly is very interesting and I like it a lot. Anyways, boss fight time.
And what at once?
There's really not much I can say about this
Milk
boss
monster.
fight since we have null element.
I
The
don't
only thing this
know
boss
if
can
any
do is
weaknesses or
cast
anything,
Megidola
fire. Oh, it's weak to fire.
and
Who would have guessed?
the ability that can put me into a panic. Sorry, brain no worky.
Megadolia. All right.
And it's weak to fire, so it's literally just a trading
hurt
match
that
until I
badly?
kill the boss. Other than that, there's really not much more this boss can do to me. Fun fact, since I wasn't running amp
Okay, are
boot,
you
fire
not
boost, or
dead yet?
fire amp, it took me
There
like
we
15 to
go.
20 minutes, about 15-20 minutes to kill this boss. Oh boy. With this last mantra getting
Come on,
mastered,
get
I decided to call this
Damn.
part
Oh,
good.
yep, there we go.
I hope
what
you
I was
guys
looking for.
enjoy this so far.
Get in my tummy.
I do stream every now and then, maybe every couple of days.
Mastered.
Come check me out sometime.
My terror
And I'm
dying,
currently
right?
working on
It
part 5,
exists.
which
I
may
don't
be
really
the
need
final
that
part.
anymore, but I'm
It
gonna
all
finally
just
learn my
depends
terror.
on how hard the optional bosses are going to be.
Get mantra.
Because I want to do everything that I can before I finish this playthrough. We're almost at the end. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.
I still got these ones. Let's see.